if you're in crypto, this is what we waited 4 years for. Right now, it looks terrible. It looks like everything's crashing. And these next few weeks are going to really determine what's going to happen. But I'd say don't lose hope. We are at the end game right now. And I'd say literally less than 50 days before the blow off top. And here's why exactly. I got 2 theories. Now, if you remember, Bitcoin hits a cycle peak every 4 years. And if we calculate it based on the date of the halving, we can see what day it peaked and how many days it took to peak. So the last halving, the cycle that we're on right now is 4, which was on April 20th, 2024. And from today, we're at 524 days. But the trend here is we're actually seeing these cycles take longer for Bitcoin to peak. I think what's actually happening is we're consolidating at that point right before we see a leg up. Then you can see cycle 3 took 22 days longer than cycle 2. So if we had exactly that, it sits us at November 11th, which also stays consistent with what month we're peaking in. Now, one more thing, when I was looking at last cycle, I want to get the low right before the last final rally because this pattern looks kind of similar. New all-time high, drop, rally up, drop before hitting another new all-time high. So Bitcoin hit that first peak October 20th and that second one, November 10th. So if we take that first peak and we subtract it from the lows, that gives us a 22-day period, which would put the start at October 18th. If we take the second one minus that same point, puts us at 43 days, November 8th. Now keep in mind, this is based on the last relative dip right before the all-time high. But here's the thing, that's assuming that we're at that bottom peak right there. We might not actually be there. We might be here. And the reason I say that is because this is the 200-day EMA line. In 2021, we hit that before rising up. Today, we are still not touching it. I'll say we're not too far off. We're about $3,000 away. But going back to last cycle, this is 2021. I think we are somewhere in this range before. This dip here, September 11th, and the number I used before, September 28th. So that's about 17 days. So let's add 17 to both. That's the first peak. That's the second. So based on the dip theory, we should see a peak between November 4th and November 25th. This is exactly what happened last cycle. The number of days to peak from the halving based on previous cycles is still plausible in the theory of a correction right before the all-time high. And the fact that the dates line up with the first theory, I think we're still in it. In my view, now is not the time to be selling your crypto and giving up. These next few weeks is exactly the reason why we held for 4 years.